The ESFP personality falls within the sensing and feeling, which is part of the relating. These are people that are very people-oriented. They are other-oriented. They're best described as someone who's service-minded, practical, unselfish, kind, and even understanding. So the general description of an ESFP is that they're outgoing, friendly, and accepting. And my favorite comment is that they're exuberant lovers of life, people, and material comforts. I think that really sums up an ESFP. Every ESFP I know is exactly that person. They enjoy working with others and making things happen. They bring a common sense and a realistic approach to work, and they like to make work really fun. They are the fun people at work, the people that are like magnets and pull others toward them. They're flexible and they're spontaneous, but they learn best by trying a new skill with other people, of course. 8.5% of our total population is an ESFP, and you'll see that they're mostly women. And their strengths tend to be adaptability, enthusiasm, energy, ability to motivate others, and they really are great negotiators. And so they'll take a situation, create a negotiation, and be able to make a compromise between different parties until you build a consensus. They're also immediate problem solvers. When we look at the goal setting within careers for the ESFP, we'll see that they have very immediate and tangible goals, and that they're always very quick to take advantage of unseen opportunities. But that creates some obstacles. Because they are very quick and spontaneous, they tend to lack action plans to reach their goals, and they really at times seem to have no sense of a long-term direction. So some tips for the ESFP would be consider some long-term goals and to make sure that you have very specific action plans to be able to reach the goals. So within information gathering, this is a very important part for any career. An ESFP is going to prefer to talk to people to really be able to make a decision and to gather information. This is a dilemma though, because they may get overwhelmed with details, and the biggest problem is that not always will you be able to find all the information that you have from other people. The other obstacle is that they might miss some long-term potentials because they are very spontaneous and tend to live in the present. Some tips is really to look out for the long-term look out of the career, see where it's going and where you would like to be. Do they match up? Making network for an making contact for an ESFP is very easy because these are people, right? So they have a very extensive network of contacts, and they're able to really explain who they are and give a very detailed picture of themselves as an employee. And they're also a team player, which is a great asset. For them, they do have some obstacles though, because they may spend too much time doing unproductive networking because they talk too much, and this tends to roll over into the interview process as well, that they talk too much. And they also may have difficulty answering some hypothetical or projection questions because this personality likes to be in the present. They also may appear to not be very task-oriented. So some great tips. First of all, be sure to pause between questions. One of the ways you can do that is simply count to 3 between each question. Make sure that you have very productive networking time. When you are networking with others, remember the goal at hand. Sometimes it even helps to have an alarm on your phone or a 3x5 card or something that has your goal right there with you so that you do recall it. Prepare for some hypothetical questions, brainstorm some of them, and that will help you because you will put your mind into the set of knowing how to create some hypothetical answers. Don't overwhelm your interviewer with too many details, and make sure that you share how wonderful and essential your people skills are to really aid the bottom line of your corporation or your new organization. Making decisions, of course, is a pretty major piece of a career, and an ESFP is a very subject person-oriented decision maker. They will consider what is most valued to people. Because of that, some of their obstacles are that they may not consider the logical consequences of those choices because they get overly influenced by the desires of other people. And because of all of this, this impacts their ability to really make decisions because it puts them in a state of angst or frustration. So they're going to put off decisions. So some great tips would be to ignore or not ignore some uncomfortable facts, and consider the consequences. And the easiest way to do that would be to create a pros and cons kind of sheet of paper where you put the facts, the uncomfortable ones, and the consequences. Make sure that you always set a deadline for your decisions. The most popular occupations for an ESFP would be a nurse, restaurant, veterinary technician, reception, cashier, farm laborer, and a fisher. Notice how these are all helping kind of careers.